Go. Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of the Power of Your Mind podcast. You are listening to episode number 282. I'm Victoria Gallagher, Law of Attraction hypnotist and #1 bestselling author of Practical Law of Attraction. Align yourself with the manifesting conditions and successfully attract your desires. And I'm also the founder of HipTalk.com, HypnoCloud apps, and the soon to be Believe hypnosis app, which is going to give you access to over 1,000 hypnosis recordings right in the palm of your hand. So be sure to download that app from the app stores when it's available. And today I have a very special guest with me, Hanna Hermanson. Hanna is the CEO and founder of the Feminine Marketing Boutique. She is helping women-led businesses to scale beyond six figures using a feminine marketing strategy that hinges on the principles of collaboration, connection, and relationship building. And Hanna is the host of the Feminine Marketing Show and is currently walking the walk as a lifestyle entrepreneur. She's living in Merida, Mexico, and you can sign up for her weekly newsletter featuring leading edge marketing inspiration on her website, which is DFY, like done for you, dfycopywriting.org/free welcome. And she can also be found on her podcast and on Amazon, getting the book Dream Life is Real Life. I love it. Dream Life is Real Life. And yeah, we'll have all those links on the podcast notes available for you to check her out. So today, Hanna is going to be sharing some of her insights on leading with feminine energy, especially in business. This is such a great topic. So welcome to the show, Hanna. I'm really excited to dive into this.
Thank you. I can tell you have done this hundreds of times, Victoria. I've got so much greatness to share, and I'm so excited because so many of the things that you share around changing our subconscious mind and becoming more magnetic to the things that we desire are totally my jam. And yeah, happy to be
Oh,
here and talk about how it can relate to marketing as well.
absolutely. No, it's super exciting. And I love that you are, you're living the dream life, you're living the dream and walking the walk and talking your talk and doing all of that and doing it from a place of feminine energy, which I want to actually talk to you a little bit about that because, sometimes I think, especially women who, are go-getters and, get into their own business, sometimes maybe have a tendency to lead a little bit more, from their masculine energy
Hmm.
because it's all like action, action, action.
Yes.
And, so I think it's a really, really important topic to get into. But before we get into that, I just want to get your background and how you got started in this, how you stumbled upon this idea and all of that.
Yeah, well, I think like so many of us who are in the healing or coaching worlds, we often share the things that were most transformational for us as individuals. And that is absolutely true for me. So I am a go-getter. I'm a doer. I'm an achiever. I'm a manifesting generator in human design, which means I am doing 47 things at once. And I definitely leveraged a lot of those skills to start and grow my business about 10 years ago. And so much of that willingness to do the work, to hustle, to knock on doors, to do a million sales calls and learn in the trenches. Like I did that and it got my business pretty quickly to six figures. But I had adrenal fatigue. I gained a bunch of weight. I was not living the dream. And I realized that the things that helped me learn and grow so quickly were not going to be the things that sustained the lifestyle that I wanted.
Mhm.
And my whole motivation had always been freedom. But then I
Mhm.
went ahead and created a really big, busy, crazy job for myself in being an entrepreneur and being a business coach. I was teaching copywriting and marketing strategies to coaches. And in 2018, I just was kind of fed up with the hustle and with the feast and famine that I was experiencing being a solopreneur and leaning so much on my doingness. And that's what
Mhm.
happens when we live in doing, is that we see results. Of course, action can create results. But when we look at, I was in my 20s at the time, and it's like, man, if I'm going to do this till I'm 50 or even for 5 more years, I need to make a change. There's got to be a better way, is what I
Yeah.
kept thinking.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is a friend hired me to teach personal branding and marketing inside of his multi-million-dollar coaching company. So I was afforded, I totally law of attraction that, by the way. It was like, wrote a letter to the universe of how I wanted things to change. He reached out and we ended up working together for almost 2 years in growing his business. And that structure, like being inside of someone else's business and having so many of his systems and having his clients just come to me, showed me that there is a better way to do this. And I needed to create some more of those systems and structures in order to scale. And especially as women, we have so many ideas and intuition and downloads and divine downloads of like creative ideas that we want to share. But when we don't have the platform or the structure or the people in front of us to share it with, this is when we get into the like, okay, now I got to hustle. Now I got to put on this other hat of, like figuring out systems.
Exactly.
So, and in 2020, like most of us, I decided to make a change. And I decided I had learned more and I had grown enough, both in systems and structures, as well as my own feminine energy of just being able to show up in his business. And so in 2020, I decided I would go out on my own and do business differently. And again, I was able to quickly get to six figures, but this time I decided to hire a team.
Mhm.
Similar to like, again, having the support of someone else's business or having a team behind me. To be honest, Victoria, I thought hiring a team at first would just be like really good accountability. Like, okay, if I'm going to hire this VA, she's going to do things. I'm going to have to, show up and have to respond to someone. And that was true. But I also started to leverage other people's zone of genius. I wasn't just hiring someone to like keep the lights on and like do things that I didn't want to do. I started interviewing people from a more feminine perspective, being curious about what are your gifts? Not just what can you do for me, but what responsibilities would you love to own? What new
Mm.
things can you add to this business that me and my amazing but limited set of gifts can do? And so, over the course of the past 3 years, I've been building a team and the systems to bring me into my true zone of genius. Are you familiar with Gay Hendricks'
I
book,
am. I
The
am.
Big Leap?
Mhm.
Good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And how often we can get stuck in that like zone of competence or even zone of excellence where it's like people were paying me to write copy, people were paying me to do their marketing, but it wasn't my true zone of brilliance and like what I'm really here to do. What I'm really here to do is to look at you, look at what your gifts are, and help you create a message that other people understand. Like,
Ooh.
look outside of the box. Like, okay, Victoria, you love the law of attraction. You have all these hypnosis. Like, what is your unique value proposition? I'm like the Don Draper of Mad
Yeah.
Men, right? And when I was too caught up in just writing emails and doing all of the content that followed that, I wasn't really able to see clients or really create that big brand voice that they needed. And so now having a team in place, we get to do this. We get to get our clients in their zone of excellence, look at their gifts, position them with a marketing strategy that they just get to show up and shine. Truly, that's our mission. We want coaches to show up and shine because I learned the things, we've built the systems, and now we insert that into other coaches' businesses.
That is amazing. Well, first of all, lucky for you and kudos to you for, really following your intuition, getting the opportunity to peek inside someone else's business. I think that is huge because when you have that, it's like a paradigm shift. All of a sudden, you can see the way that somebody else is doing something and compare it, and contrast it to the way you've been doing things and realize, wow, there is a better way. And I love the idea of just building this team, but building it around. I love what you said about not it's not so much what can you do for me, but how can I help you to tap into your own gifts, and what can like what are some things that you can bring to the table that I don't even realize could exist in my business. And so that is huge.
Yes. And I think you might love this because I didn't know how. Again, I was using my intuition. I had some role models to follow, but I didn't really know how to do that. So one of my favorite exercises is to delegate to the universe. So I delegated to the universe things like bookkeeping and tracking numbers and managing spreadsheets. And I really was just like, I just don't want to do it. I was just kind of like, I don't know where else to put this besides the universe. And it truly blew my mind. This might sound funny, but I swear to you, I did not think there were actually people who enjoyed spreadsheets. I was like, I don't know where I'm going to find these people. Like, it's so hard. I don't know. I'm just going to delegate this. And then, of course, you get into action. And I started talking to my network about some of the pieces I was looking for. And there are people who do not ever want to see a microphone like this, who do not want their picture on the internet, who do not want to be the person that's, FaceTiming with clients. They love just telling me who I'm meeting with today and checking the spreadsheet and playing with their dog and helping me show up and shine, right? It's just amazing to me when we can understand, especially as entrepreneurs, we think everyone wants to be like us, or everyone has this like goal, but no, not everyone. I'm from small town Wisconsin. Not everyone is burning down their life, selling everything they have and moving to Mexico. Not everyone is trying to have a podcast about woo woo things. And so when we can appreciate that all of us have these like unique puzzle pieces, I truly believe that creating jobs and empowering coaches to live in their zone of genius is creating a more harmonious universe. It is raising consciousness. We were here to speak and share. We're here to speak and share, Victoria. But there are people who are here to make earrings. Thank you. I love having earrings. I don't know how to make them, right? There are people here who are like bakers. Thank you for the bread. I don't want to make bread, but I love it. And so that's been the paradigm shift for me, not just learning how other people do it and the systems, but really learning that we are truly all meant to work together.
I totally believe that. I think that there is a place for everyone. And I think if people could bust out of their idea that, like, oh, who would want to do that job? I mean, there are people who absolutely love to serve hamburgers at McDonald's. I know that. And
Yeah.
there are people who absolutely love cleaning houses, and like let them shine and let them, like, literally and
Yeah.
let them do what it is that they love to do, and let us do the things that, which allows everyone to, like you said, work harmoniously together, rising up to their highest and fullest best self. I mean, to me, if I had it my way, because I do have a little bit of a team, but it's not the most complete team as of yet. I mean, if I had it my way, literally all I would do all day long is sit in front of my microphone and make recordings. I mean, that is my zone of genius. That is what I'm best at. And yeah, when I get out and do public speaking, absolutely. But I would want to have that person, that special person that they book me. They get everything, handled, and I just go do the talk. I don't wanna do the
Mhm.
marketing. I don't wanna do the those things. And so I love that. So, I guess the question really is, like, how do we start to tap into, and what is, like, this feminine energy that you speak of?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, that we all have both. And I think I know there's a lot of like hating on bro marketers on the internet right now. And I get it. I also have been burnt out on sleazy sales tactics and problem agitate solve and KPIs and hit the numbers and go bro. Okay. And there are elements that we want to adopt from some of those masculine structures. right? So I think about masculine and feminine energy, like my morning cup of coffee. I love making my little artisanal blend with my almond milk, and all my husband calls it my potions because I put all these like supplements and like froth it. It's like a whole big deal. And if I did that without a coffee cup, I would literally have a hot mess. But I want that artisanal blend. That's the feminine energy, like my creative spices and the blend and the things that I want to put together and curate and the messages that I want to share and the recordings I want to make. That creativity, our flow, is feminine energy, and we all have it. Females tend to have more. And then the masculine energy is the structure, is the coffee cup, is that thing that holds us, because there's nothing more messy than a visionary without a plan. Okay. We can have all these ideas and they go everywhere and it's a hot mess. So, first and foremost, it's understanding the balance of masculine structures, feminine energy. And when we have the support in place to show up and shine, it is absolutely incredible the wisdom we get to tap into. So, I think about this as like mental real estate. I'm big into metaphors. We got the coffee cup. Okay. Now we're going to switch gears to a new metaphor, which is mental real estate. And as a business owner, there are so many things that take up space in my brain, from paying my team to checking Slack to making sure posts are going out to client fulfillment. Like, there is a limited amount. We can always create more. And I'm sure your hypnosis helps us clear space for more places in our brain, but there's a lot. And when we're stuck in the doing, checking things off the box, task list, we don't allow for the space for our wisdom to really flow through us. And so this is where we see a lot of burnout and people feeling like my message just isn't resonating. It's not working. Well, it's because we're not really in tune. We're not really creating space for our creativity to flow, which is, again, why a lot of us are here, especially as spiritual entrepreneurs. We have wisdom to share with the masses. So, leading with feminine energy is all about creating the space for your divine brilliance to flow. And then, of course, we know there's a structure that is in place with that. So, when it comes to marketing, we want to get you in a position where you are magnetic. To me, feminine energy is all about pulling people in.
Mhm.
Most marketing is about pushing our message out there. So this can be just a paradigm shift, right? This can just be simply realizing, wow, I've been like asking people if they want to join my program, or I've been launching this thing and posting, pushing. And like, if we can just have a paradigm shift of even thinking about not launching, but inviting and offering
Yeah.
and collaborating and co-creating partnerships and seeing how can we actually work together. It's a very different energy to take into your marketing than, all right, we got to launch on this day and we got to get this much out and we got to hit this number and this many. Okay, first of all, remember those numbers you're talking about are real human beings,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
So it's just this softening from like
Yeah,
the paradigm shift. And I'm happy to get into sort of our feminine marketing funnel
yeah,
and how we help our clients move real people through a client journey that they feel inspired about.
yeah.
But that's the big shift: pulling, inviting, welcoming people in versus pushing, convincing, selling.
Well, it's very much like law of attraction.
Yes.
So it's ultimately, becoming that more magnetic person that draws people to you, and rather than, I would say that it even goes beyond the marketing. It all actually goes into, I can see how it goes into how you attract people that want to work for you.
The being. Yes, that is the end goal, right? I still got my like masculine. I got a game plan. I'm going to tell you what the steps are because I know it's easier to digest that way. But
Yeah.
that's exactly it, Victoria. All of these things that I'm sharing with you is because of the ultimate goal of you relaxing into your zone of genius and being ready to receive what the universe wants to send you.
Yeah. And you have to trust that. So all of it requires a lot of you to bring out a lot of it's like a relationship with the universe, really. because you have to realize you're co-creating with the universe, and rather than, like, I would say, before making those job posts or trying to find the right team, you're basically saying, like, get clear on who you are, what your message is. Make those contracts with the universe first, assign it to the universe, and the universe is going to align you with the right people, whether it's the right people that are going to help you grow your business or the right people that are going to be a right fit to come into your business and consume what you have to offer.
Absolutely, absolutely, right? And this goes back to that, like, us all fitting together, right? And the universe wants us all to, like, rise together, and nothing is random, right? And so when we have this desire to grow our business, then that means we're calling forth other puzzle pieces and we're asking the universe. And same thing when we have this desire to launch a new program, that means there's like people who want it. And so it's about positioning ourselves, yes, from a marketing perspective, but even more so from an energetic perspective to be that right match for the team,
Absolutely.
for the clients. Yes, yes, yes.
Now, I imagine that this message actually goes both ways. It's, even though, you're targeting the message to women, I mean, I imagine that our male audience could also benefit from this
Oh,
exact
yeah.
same
I
information.
just had a client call with someone named Steve. Okay. We talk about this and it's just
Oh,
like,
my husband?
yeah. I don't think so. He lives in Rhode Island. But yeah, this is, and like I said, we all have this. And actually, you might be privy to this already, but I'm very confident that we are in the middle of a new paradigm, not just like all of us, like as individuals, but the world is changing and asking us to change with it.
Mhm.
So, according to my human design and astrology friends who have been right about a lot of things, 2020 to 2027 is a transformative time. 2027, everything is going to be different. Okay. I think of this as like the universe. It's like we're studying for a final exam with the universe, where for 600 years, we've been in this paradigm that we're in right now, which has been all about building, making communities, creating corporations, building, building, building. And we needed a certain set of skills, ways of being to create like the literal structures that we have. And they're all changing. You might even say breaking down, right? We see lots of discontent in the world right now. And this is because we're cramming, we're like studying for this final exam. The universe wants to make sure we've learned everything from this building phase. Did we get everything in? Are we ready for what's coming next? And what's
Mhm.
coming next is a much more feminine era. Literally, this was predicted on my podcast in 2018. And then in 2020, when COVID hit and the pandemic, and messages like the future is feminine started literally being on t-shirts everywhere, I was like, oh my gosh, like watching a sci-fi movie, right? Because I do know that the way that we've been operating is not going to last much longer. We are
Mhm.
moving into a much softer, more communal, more energetic way of being
Yeah.
because we don't need to create so many of the things that we can pick up. We have lots of gadgets. We're now creating things in the cloud or in our minds that are more meta, literally. Like meta is named that for a reason. And so this is where those of us who are already practicing the law of attraction can get excited about leaning into leading with that more and knowing that we don't like if we look at the grand scheme of things, we are very taken care of. It's not about more stuff that we're attracting. It's about new energies, new ways of being, new ways of holding abundance in many forms. And I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I know it's going to be different. And I know that feminine energy and law of attraction are going to be helpful tools.
Absolutely. Well, this is amazing. I mean, this is groundbreaking information, I think. I think so many people really, really need to study the feminine energy and how to harness it more. So
Mhm.
what would you say to a new business owner or a business owner that has just been hitting, like they realize, okay, I'm hitting a wall here with as far as I can go, because you said that you break people through from their six
Mhm.
to the seven
Yeah.
figures, and I would imagine that you're going to say, I mean, you're masculine energy is only going to take you so far because it's just not sustainable unless you have, invite some balance into your life, some feminine energy, meaning essentially that, you need support.
Yeah.
Essentially, you need support not only from, actual real people around you, but you need support from the universe. And so, how would you tell a business owner how to harness this energy in order to like what would be the first step?
First, we need to get more comfortable with spaciousness.
Mm,
And this might mean white space on your calendar. This might mean deepening your meditation practice, but we can't really access the rest of what I'm going to talk about unless we have some spaciousness in our brain and we're
mhm,
open to receive. Right.
mm.
Isn't that one of the first things of law of attractions? Like, ask, but then we also have to have enough spaciousness and clarity and receptivity to be able to receive the answers and the next steps. And this was really hard for me as someone who was doing the things at six figures and feeling like I had to keep my foot on the gas pedal. That was literally the coaching I got. It was like, don't take your foot off the gas pedal. You're here. You got to keep it going. Like, keep going, keep going. But it felt like I said, I needed my life back. So I had to get more comfortable with spaciousness. And for me, it did look like white space on the calendar. Just like, if this is not a holy heck yes
Mhm.
call, client, podcast, doctor appointment, like a holy hell no, is the universe saying, like, not this way.
Oh
Okay. It's
yeah.
not supposed to feel heavy and hard. So I had to start saying no to some things.
Mhm.
And I'll admit there is that scary, like, little, like, oh, okay, I'm going to take a step back. I need to create space. I need to recenter, realign before the clarity and really the people, like you said, the support started showing up. And I started asking for the right next steps. And then the right next steps is getting an outside perspective because we spend so much time banging our head around our business wall. I'm going to try this. I'm going to launch this. We come up with all these ideas and we don't always know if it's coming from this place of like genuine alignment, like this is a true download for me, or because I saw so and so do so on Instagram and like shiny objects and just like so much noisiness. The spaciousness is going to help with that, but then also having this outside perspective. I have marketers mentor me all of the time. Even
Mhm.
though I can Don Draper you and everyone else, I cannot see outside of my own box.
Yeah.
Just like I cannot cut my own hair. Just like, I don't try to do certain things for myself, like getting a hairdresser and getting some outside, even if it's just consulting, even if it's just surveying your audience at the beginning to really understand, like, what am I not seeing inside of the box that my
Yeah.
ideal clients are asking for? Like, do we even know? Like, here's another great step. Now I'm just giving you like marketing, like how to's, but do we even know why your ideal clients follow you? We might think it's because I know a lot about marketing and I can build a funnel and I can guarantee growth in your business. But actually, a lot of people follow me because of the lifestyle I lead with and because I've chosen to live in Mexico and create a different path for myself. That's one of the things that makes me magnetic. But I'm over here thinking, but look at my cool funnel. And everyone's like, I don't care. Right. So,
Oh.
so yeah, first spaciousness, second, getting some outside perspective, whether it's from your audience or a consultant or someone who can see you in a different light as a
Mhm.
business, as
Mhm.
a magnet. And then it's about aligning your energy. Well, this can happen at any point, but it's about aligning your energy with where you want to be. Right.
Mhm.
And that
Mhm.
embodiment piece and making decisions based on where you're going, not
Yeah.
where you've been or where you are today.
Yeah. That is so important. And, I mean, we have to teach ourselves and coach ourselves all the time sometimes with some of these things that you're talking about. I had a little epiphany moment myself today, where I kind of realized because, I'm getting my apps going through app approval. And, it's a little bit of a grueling process because, they look at your app from guidelines and all these things that you just you didn't have that perspective before they point these things out. Anyway,
Mhm.
all that to say, it's a little bit of a scary process and and it can be stressful. And so I kind of realized today, like as I'm going through this, it's like, cutting like cutting my meditation short, not getting out and going for a walk, not doing the things that I would be doing if I had the success. And I like literally earlier
Mhm.
today, I said to myself, it's like, I'm going to take the time and I'm going to fold this laundry. Why? Because that's what I would do if this was done. I'm gonna get
Yes.
out today and I'm going to, I'm gonna hike. Why? Because that is who I am when this app is done. I'm gonna
Yes.
do the things in my life that I have control over that align me with the person that I would be being if this was
Yes.
all done. There's no
Yes.
reason why not to do that. And,
Well,
so
besides it's scary.
yeah,
That's the reason not to do that, right?
it
Like,
is. It's like
yeah.
because you have to kinda, like, take your hands a little bit off the steering wheel and trust that the car is gonna keep moving forward without you. And I love what you said about the white space, and that's something that I've done, like, probably for the last year. I realized, it's like I just was not making any progress on, content creation. It's like, because there's always something taking up that space. And so I went down to 2 days a week. I said, "I'm gonna open my calendar up for 2 days." I do all my coaching and all my podcasts on 2 days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. You're
Great.
with me here on Thursday for a
Yep.
reason.
Walking your
Mondays.
walk.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, those are my days to be in my space as a content creator, and no one gets on my calendar. I mean,
Mhm.
hey, there are some people that could get on my calendar.
Yeah,
Oprah
of
Winfrey,
course. Of
Tony
course. Yeah.
Robbins, you're gonna make your space for some people like that, but
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally relate. That's why I was saying, there is that like it feels like that pull back. I'm a Sagittarius, so I know that like archer feeling of like,
Oh,
okay, this
yeah.
is the bow in the arrow, like we're pulling back. And that was so true for me too in creating the white space. And especially when I went to hire team, I didn't feel good enough or ready enough or busy enough. Of course, I could keep doing all of the client work and I could keep doing all of those things. Yeah, but I knew I wanted my life back. I knew I wanted to make a quantum leap. And that meant hiring before I was ready and figuring it out. And of course, the money showed up and the clients came and everyone kept a roof over their house, Like, of course, the universe rewarded us for taking that massive action, for hiring a team, for just deciding this is how the business is going to run now. I say that with I can decide. I've learned I'm a specific manifester in the human design world where I can say like this is how it's going to go. This is what I see. Not all of us can say exactly that. Some of us just know the feeling. And I think that's what you're getting to as well. It's not that like maybe your vision board is folding laundry at Thursday morning, but
Right.
it's like you would feel spacious enough. You would feel abundant enough to yeah, of course there's enough time for this. Of course I'm worthy of a team. Of course I'm going to have marketing done for me. Of course, of course, of course. And I think all of this is just deepening the connection to the law of attraction, right? Ask and it is
100%.
given, but you also got to like, take the actions and like you said, create the white space, do the things on your calendar.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you've mentioned the human design element a little bit more. Can you talk a little bit more about how you use human design in your marketing agency
I love
and
to.
how you align your message with human design types?
Yeah, absolutely. So the types, it sounds like you're familiar with. I'm a
I've heard of
manifesting
it.
generator.
I
Okay.
I don't know my type. I think I may have taken a test at one point, but
Yeah.
the information's gone out of my brain by
No
now.
worries. Yeah, well, it's super easy because all you need to know is your birth data. So like where, when, where and when, time, location you were born, because it's connected to astrology and
Oh,
China, lots of other sort of sciences that um, we get a snapshot of your soul's blueprint based on the time and place you were born. And man, is it an onion. You're going to get way more information than you can digest in a week. It actually takes 7 years to fully understand and go through all the pieces of human design. And we really just look at two key big pieces of people's human design. First is the type, and you can be a manifester, a generator, a manifesting generator, which I am, a projector, or a reflector. And that is really helpful to help you think about the ways that you work inside of your business. So for instance, as a manifesting generator, I got 47 things going on. I'm multi-passionate. I love having many projects. So the way that we work with clients is very unique. I can keep track of 15 different marketing campaigns and how it works different for everyone. But other people like projectors, I have a projector on my team, and they're much more like rewarded or appreciated for not what they do, but for how they see things. So she's my operations manager, and she can see the spreadsheets and the calendar, and like just knowing that's more of her zone of genius. But when it comes to branding and marketing, the profile is way more interesting to me. And these are two numbers that make no sense. Victoria, human design is great at like not making sense. Like, so I'm a 4-6. My husband is a 2-4. You might be a 6-2. Okay. There are only a few number combinations. And actually, I have a freebie that we can link that outlines the profile numbers and then some like aligned call to actions, because the profile numbers help us understand how we like to exchange energy with the world, as well as how other people like to exchange energy with us.
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
There's a lot going on here, but you're with me. Okay. So as from a marketing perspective, this is why you need to get people outside of your box, because I, as a 4-6, the 4 means that I see myself as a 4, which is an optimist. So I'm kind of like, we can all do this. Like girl next door, like everyone move to Mexico. Like you can do anything. Dream life is real life is very aligned for how I feel and how I see myself. But the 6 line is how other people perceive me. And that is of a role model. The 6 line is a role model. So my marketing was not converting as much when I was saying, we can do this. I'm just like you, girl next door. Because everyone else was like, wow, you are doing that. You are so brave. And so I had to reposition the messaging to not be like, come on, everyone, but to be like, take my shortcut, follow what I learned as the role model. And so it's these, again, finesses that when you can nail in your marketing, help you leverage the law of attraction, because that's what people wanted to see from me. We have clients who are 3-5s, which Kim Kardashian and actually a lot of celebrities are 3-5. And the 3 line means that you're experimental. You love learning from life. You're always going to be just in the field doing the things. And so you kind of always feel like a novice because you're always doing things. But the 5 line is that of someone who, the 5 line is like the person that has people come up to them at the grocery store and be like, you look so familiar, or I just have to tell you this. Okay. So they're in the world like, I don't know, I'm just grocery shopping. Everyone keeps coming up to me. And so if we can position 3-5s as like, here's what I'm learning, learn this value. Again, can you start to see how these nuances mean that I, as a 4-6, don't need to be sharing as much of like, here's what the data says, here's what's happening in the world, here's the value, how to 1, 2, 3, 4. But I can more, share my personal story as a role model. So that is the nitty gritty of how we use human design to give you a taste, but it also probably feels like a lot because it's all about aligning your messaging with how people want to exchange energy with you.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not just about like, well, this is who I am, and this is my personality style, and this is how I do it. Because people, that may be how you want to exchange energy, but you have to balance that with how other people want to exchange energy with you. And that's all derived from learning about your human design numbers.
Yes. And you can go get your free chart. You can go Google human design. You can put in your birth information and get a free chart in instance. And then if you can link our freebie, we have a freebie that then you can take your chart and go and start to see what calls to action, how to position based on your unique numbers.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to put that link in the comments in the show notes. It's dfycopywriting.org/free. That's where they can go and go through the freebie.
Yes, they can definitely start there. I'm gonna send you another link too, so
Okay.
we can I didn't know if we would get to this or not,
Oh,
so
yeah,
let's add a
absolutely.
bonus.
Yeah, let's add a bonus. Absolutely.
Okay.
Bonuses are great. So we're gonna put that in the chat here or um
Yeah,
and
it's not
then
pretty. I'm sorry. I wanted to give it to you, so I talked about it, but,
yeah,
yeah.
not a problem. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this, open this link, and so you can also, yeah, you can also get some freebies at Dream dash life dash is dash real dash life. Yeah, we're gonna put the
Click
link
below.
in the we're gonna put the link in the show. It's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's gonna this is gonna help them with also being able to find out um their human design number as well, or
Yeah, that one I don't have. I don't personally have a resource. I would just
yeah.
Google my human
Yeah.
design
Oh,
chart,
okay.
and there's
All right.
lots of free other people do that, not me.
Very good. Okay, cool. And tell us just a little bit about your book, that is available on Amazon.
Yeah, so this came out of learning how to build a business with a life, right? And so it walks you through some of the starting steps for reorganizing your business in a way that aligns with the big goal that you have, the money you want to make because money affords a lot more freedom, right?
Absolutely.
So it walks you through your business model as well as gives you some templates for starting to market and message your business, even without social media, just helping you start to build relationships in a way that feel good and will help your business grow.
Awesome. Well, this has all been like really amazing information. I think that this could be very transformative for a lot of our listeners here, especially, if you go and check out some of the free resources and check out the book. And what's happening for the future in 2024? Any tips on how women might need to do things to continue growing their business moving forward?
Yeah, I definitely keep thinking about how you can be more of that magnet and literally just like leveraging things like invitations and collaborations and just thinking about softening some of your messaging. We know that's going to be important to consumers. The other thing that's on the horizon for us is that our agency, because of what we've been seeing and because of that like importance of the structure that we talked about, we're going to be guaranteeing growth because we feel like we've cracked the code, especially for coaches who have high ticket transformational programs. So that's something I'm really excited about. And I think a lot of us are going to be thinking about how can we reposition our programs to help people get real results in a world where there's a lot of courses and a lot of coaches and a lot of amazing resources. Now is the time for my company, as well as all of you, take this advice to start thinking about how can you guarantee results.
Ooh, yes. I love that. There's not too many people that are willing to put their money where their mouth is and guarantee results in their program. So, that's amazing. So, well, thank you so much for all of your information. Thank you for sharing with us all that you've been learning about and teaching about the feminine and leading with feminine energy. This has been super helpful and transformative. I got a lot of value out of it, and I know that our audience definitely will have something to take away. And so, thank you so much for being a wonderful guest on our show.
Namaste.
Thank you.